Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku Puzzle. It's Monday the 2nd of September 2024. I hope you are feeling well, ready for the week ahead, prepared as best you possibly can be for the week ahead. Steeled yourself if you have some tasks to do. I've got to take the cat to the hospital before I go to work today. Poor thing will be there all day for his long infusion. What is going on in the world? Of all the barbaric laws that exist around the world, some of them are have been on the books for many years and are not used, but one that is being used, a recent law in Afghanistan, is the one forbidding women to sing, forbidding singing by women, and also reading aloud, and in fact not allowing women's voices to be carried outside the confines of their house. Can you imagine anything more egregious? What a horrific and ridiculous rule. But of course that's who the Taliban are. But it's just another example of how theocracy ruins humanity. Be careful if you are a person who is interested in theocratic rule. It will inevitably lead to ridiculous extremes like this. Anyway, I mention this because apparently some women have dared to kind of have their voice heard in public. Although I think their faces are covered, but they've been singing on the internet, posting videos of themselves singing, and so good luck to those very brave women. We can imagine the hideous punishment that's likely to be wrought on them by the lunatics of the Taliban, and they really are insane. Alright, let's get on with the game of Sudoku. Now, this is a beginner level game, so I always explain the rules on a Monday. How do we play the game of Sudoku? We've got 9 squares in every row across, we've got 9 squares in every column down, and we've got 9 squares in every one of these small blocks that are highlighted with black liner, like this. Okay, so 9 squares here, 9 squares here. The object of the game is to fill in the empty squares with digits, 1 digit per square. As the example, you can see we're given some starter numbers. And so, how do we realize what goes where? Well, first thing is we must never guess. Please don't guess. This is not a game of guessing, it's a game of logic. So we just use logic to find the answers. And we use the fact that there are a limited number of 9 in each row, column and block to find the answer. So there are 9 squares in this block up here, let's say. Okay. Now we already have some numbers, 2, 3, 6, 5 and 9. So we don't need those anymore because there are only 9 squares. We need the other numbers. So in particular we need digit 7. We don't have a 7 in this block yet. But here we see a 7 in this row. Now if you understand the fact that 7 cannot reappear in this row because there are only 9 squares, well then 7 can't be in any of these 3 squares here, can it? And there is only 1 empty square left. So we know that the 7 must go there, so we can fill it in immediately. No need to wait or think, oh, could it be something else? No, it can't be anything else. And that's basically what we do. We just kind of walk around the grid, go around the grid looking for possibilities like that. Now, I also see we have 3 missing numbers here. We don't have a 1, we don't have a 4, and we don't have an 8. So we know that the 3 empty squares here will contain 1, 4 and 8. Has to be 1, 4 and 8 in these 3 squares. So now I happen to have noticed, and I hope you did too, that down here we have a 4. Now 4 will block up this column here because remember only 1 digit is instance of a digit is available in its column, row or block. And we have 4 here, so that blocks up here. So neither of these 2 squares can be 4 because of these 2 4s down here. So we know that 4 is going to go there. And now what's left? Now we've only got 1 and 8 to complete this block. And if you look down here, you'll see a 1 blocking all the way up here. So 1 not allowed here. The only white space available is here. And now there's only 1 number. And now we have the whole set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 all done. Okay. So is that it? Well, there's a little bit more. We can sometimes think ahead a little bit. So what do I mean by thinking ahead? All right, let's look at this block over here first of all. We only have 1 and 3. We don't have an 8 yet. What do we know about 8s? You can see that 8 blocks across here and 8 blocks up here. So there are 2 white squares where the 8 might go. It could go here or it could go here. Where does it go? Can't say, but it's still of interest to us, and that's because now we know that 8 has to be in one of these 2 squares. We don't know which one, but we know it's in one of them. And so what does that mean? Well, in this block here, we've got 8 blocking up here, and now if 8 is in this square or this square, it doesn't matter, because it has to be one of those 2, and that's going to block down here. So now we have 1 white square available only in this block here, and we know that is where the 8 goes. I hope that was clear and understandable. If not, go back, watch the video, that part of the video again, and I'm sure you'll get it next time. Let's do something similar now. Okay, in this block here, we've got 5 blocking up here. So where are the 5s? Well, 5 must appear either here or here, right? 5 blocks up here, so these are not, can't be 5. So 5 will be in one of these 2 squares here. Which one? Don't know. I have no idea. But what we do know is 5 blocks to the top up here, and now 5 is either here or here, whichever, but they will block. It will block, whether it's here or here, will block upwards, and that will leave me just 1 empty square up there, so that's a 5. Now we can take that 5 that we've just filled in and say 5 blocks across here, 5 blocks across here, and 5 blocks up here, and that will give us a 5 there. Now, look at this row across the middle here. We don't have a 5 in this row yet. There is no 5, but if you look carefully, you'll see 5 blocking this square, 5 blocking this square, 5 blocking this square, and 5 blocking this square. So numbers up and down block every square except this one in the middle, and that's the only white square left in this row, so we know that 5 must go there. Over here we have 2 blocking down here and 2 blocking down here. That's going to give us 2 in this square here. We'll take that 2 across here, and that will give us 2 in that square. Now there's only one. We've got 2 nice easy numbers to get, this one and this one. We can get both of those for sure. Let's see what's missing from this column, shall we? We've got 1, 2, 3. We don't have a 4 yet, so we know that's going to be a 4. And what's missing from this column here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no 6 anywhere, so that's going to be a 6. Like I said, if any of this is a bit strange because you've never played the game ever before, then you can always go back and watch the video a little bit. Right, now where should we look next? I'm not sure, but a good place to look might be when we see a couple of empty squares in a block like this to see what's missing. The missing digits here are in fact 3 and 9. We've got everything else, we don't have 3 or 9. So we look for 3 or 9 up here, and we see a 3, so we know that that can't be 3. So we know that's going to be 3, and that's going to be 9. And that 9 that we just placed is going to be helpful. It blocks to the top. And 9 across here, and 9 across here. Ooh, the mouse is doing weird things. That will give me a 9 up there. A strange thing happened with the mouse there. What else is going on? Not sure. So what I might do is then click on the digits and go through them one by one. If you're playing with a pen and paper, it means you have to go through one by one and look for the next thing that we can find. Just looking for something nice and easy. No, 5s are not possible, I know. 6, that's what we need. 6 blocking up here and 6 across here will give us 6 in that square. Eight now blocks up here, that gives us an 8 in that square. Anything happening with the 9s? Okay, so missing digits here are 2, 4 and 7. Now we've got a couple of 7s blocking across here like this, so we know that the 7 is going to be there. We've got the 4 blocking across here, so we know that the 4 will be here, and then the 2 is the last number that we need there. So now we can look at this column, see what's missing. We don't yet have a 1 in this column. I see the 1 blocking here. So here's the 1, and now I've just got to find this digit, the last number, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no 5 in this column, so let's put our 5 there. And now that's going to help us 5 across here and 5 across here. That means this is 5. Now there are no more 5s to find on the grid. We've got all of our 5s already in place. There's one more number to find here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 4. That must be a 4. That's going to help us again. 4 down here, across there. That will give us a 4 in that square, and then we'll continue with the 4s down and across here like this. So now 4s are finished. There are no more 4s or 5s. What do I mean? We have a 4 in every row, every column and every block, and the same for digit 5. So there are no more to find. We have 8 blocking across here like that, and that will give us an 8 in that square. The missing numbers for this block here are 3 and 7, which I can't find, but never mind, because I've seen a 7 blocking across here, and that gives us 7 there, and this will be a 2, which is the last number for the column or the block. Either way, it's the same thing. Now 2 blocks across here, up here and across there. That gives us 2 in that square, and then 2 up here, 2 up there, and that's the final digit 2. Now there's one empty square here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no 9, so that's going to be a 9. And what's left? Yeah. So I know that we can get this number here because these two, we are limited to 2 numbers. There's only 2 numbers left for this block, right? So when we find out what numbers go here and here, in fact it's 3 and 7, isn't it? 3 and 7 go into those squares. We don't know which is which, but we know 3 and 7 go here. So this could be 3 and that would be 7, or this could be 3 and that would be 7. We don't know, but anyways, that. So 3 and 7 are there. So this can't be 3 or 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have 6. We've got 7 over here, 8, 9. This is a 6. 6 blocks up here. We need a 6 in the top row, or if you prefer 6 blocking across there. There's our 6. And the last number for the top row is 3. 3 blocks down here. That gives me a 3 in that square. One number left to get here, which is 8. 8 blocks back up here, giving us 8 in that square, and the missing number here is 1. Now there's only one number for this column, and that's a 7. Let's put the 7 here. Missing numbers down here for this column are 1 and something. We don't yet have a 1. I see that immediately, so the 1 blocks across here means that's a 1. Now the last number, 1, 2, we don't have a 3 in this column, so let's put our 3 there. Okay, the missing digits here are 6, 8 and 9, and I think we can't get them just yet. So we'll look across here. What do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're looking for 7, 8 and 9 in these squares, and that's not enough to find the answer. So we'll look here. What are we missing here? We've got 1, 2. We don't have 3. We don't have 6 and 9. So the 3 squares must contain 3, 6 and 9. And this one does help us because now we have 6 and 9 in the same column. So this square here can't be 6, can't be 9. It has to be 3 because there are only 3, 6 and 9 missing. And now we take that 3 up here, and we know that 3 goes there. And we also remember that 7 was our missing number here. So 7 blocks down here, across here, across here. Like so. That's the final digit, 7. What's left? 9 blocks this square. We don't have 9 in this row yet, so let's fill it in now. Now 9 blocks across here and across here like this. There's our 9. And the last number to get down here is 6, I think. 6 blocks back this way. There's our 6 then. The last number here is an 8. 8 blocks across here. That gives me an 8 here. And the last number for the column, the row, the block, the entire grid is the digit 1. And so that's our easy level Sudoku puzzle finished for a Monday. If there are lots of easy level puzzles, there's a playlist of easy level puzzles on this channel where you can play your first games of Sudoku, your beginner games. Okay, that's it. Take care. Bye bye.